So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, Bob Arum made a comment about Kell Brook if he wins, that he wants to make a Kell Brook Manny Pacquiao fight, and I found that quite strange. Just because Bob Arum doesn't represent Kell Brook, and we know that he represents Terence Crawford, and it's a fight that Terence Crawford's wanted for a very long time. So it was a kind of a bit of a weird move, and it's got a lot of people thinking, and I've seen a lot of people online say that all Kell Brook has to do is just stay on his feet and he'll, win the fight. I'm not gonna push it that far. Like, I'm not gonna say that, but obviously, with all the rumors coming out that Terence Crawford may leave Top Rank, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But the fact that there's so many rumors, the fact that the way Terence Crawford is talking, I don't think you should be talking like that personally, especially when you're saying you're going to leave a promoter when he's promoting you and you're fighting on his show, right? I don't think that's a smart thing to do. But I believe Terence Crawford believes in his ability. He believes in his talent, that he's just going to go in there and beat Kell Brook. But I want to talk about Bob Arum saying about Kell Brook may get the Pacquiao fight. I don't know whether Bob Arum's just talking. We know that he said a lot of things about, Crawford and Pacquiao in Qatar and stuff like that. Pacquiao's his own boss. Pacquiao makes his own decisions. It's all right saying that, you want to make a fight with Manny Pacquiao. I just don't think it's that easy to make a fight with Manny Pacquiao, because Manny Pacquiao's in control of what he does, his business. Manny Pacquiao controls everything. So Bob Arum's not going to be able to dictate whether he can make that fight or not. He doesn't represent Manny. And Manny Pacquiao, does he have a great working relationship with Bob Arum now? I don't know. I don't know the score there. Maybe they've left on good terms. Maybe they still talk. Maybe they still talk about fights. We don't know. Maybe Manny doesn't, but his team does. So we just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But I do think for Kell Brook, if Kell Brook somehow manages to beat Terence Crawford, I do believe Terence Crawford will want a rematch if he manages to pull it off, which is a bigger task. But again, it's not possible. For me, I'm predicting Kell to pull it off and shock the boxing world. But that aside, forget my prediction aside, if we go on what more majority of the public think and what the odds, if you go by the odds, Crawford's a massive favorite. However, for Kell Brook, he'd have a swan song for the end of his career, beating Terence Crawford and then getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao. That would be incredible. Even if Kell Brook beats Terence Crawford, do I think he'll get a Pacquiao fight? I don't think so personally, if I'm honest with you. I don't think Manny Pacquiao is really going to be interested in a Kell Brook fight, even if he's the world champion. Depending on where Manny Pacquiao's out and what Manny Pacquiao's ambition is. I don't know where he's at. I don't know what his ambition is. There's a lot of guys that want to see Terence Crawford lose badly, so they're getting behind Kell Brook. I think the reason why there's so much support for Kell Brook, and Terence Crawford mentioned this, that there's a lot of haters out there that are talking about, Kell Brook winning. It's because a lot of these guys are fans of other fighters, and they want Terence Crawford to lose because Terence Crawford's seen as one of the best, and that's always the case. The amount of Manny Pacquiao fans that want to see Terence Crawford lose, the amount of Errol Spence fans that want to see Terence Crawford lose, there's a lot. There's a lot of them that want to see him lose. But that's for Terence Crawford to prove to everybody that, he's a top dog. He has to go in there and perform. But Kell Brook and a Manny Pacquiao fight, it'd be a good fight. I favor Manny. If I'm honest, I favor Manny in Errol Spence, just because of his size and strength, and that's a fight that could be dangerous for Pacquiao at this age. But I think everybody else, personally, I think he could beat everybody. He just beat Keith Thurman, who I think could beat Brook and Crawford. Manny Pacquiao just beat Thurman, who, like I said, could beat Brook and Crawford. So I don't know whether Manny Pacquiao, just because of the fact that if Brook beats Terence Crawford, obviously his name will go to another level. But how big will it go for Manny to say, you know what, I'll fight Brook? Because there's a lot of other guys that Manny could fight and make a lot more money. So um, I still don't know whether he'll get that fight, and whether Bob Arum is just saying it to get, maybe send a message out to Crawford, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose behind that was, because what that says to me is that Kell Brook will be joining forces with Bob Arum if he wins. Because I thought if Kell Brook wins, he'll go back to the UK. Maybe he'll reunite with Eddie Hearn or maybe Frank Warren. But actually, it looks like there's something else going on here. It looks like Bob Arum might, sign Kell Brook, even if he wins or loses. Who knows? Maybe he signs Kell Brook even if he loses. If he loses, what fight would Bob Arum be able to get Kell Brook anyway if he signs with Top Rank? They haven't got any welterweights. They haven't got any welterweights. So what fights is Bob Arum going to get Terence Crawford? I mean, sorry, not Terence Crawford, but Kell Brook. We already know that he struggled to get Terence Crawford fights. So if Kell Brook signs with him, who's Kell Brook going to fight? Because Kell Brook, I don't even know I don't think Bob Arum has any 154-pounder. So really, by him signing with Top Rank, the fights are with PBC. So if Kell Brook is thinking of joining anyone, it's to go to the PBC. But if he loses, then I don't know whether Kell Brook will be in demand where anyone will be really that interested, especially if he loses badly. Even if he loses, he needs to win, really. Because if he wins, like I said, all these fights, like the Pacquiao fight and all these big fights, could become a possibility. I'm not saying he gets the Pacquiao fight, even if he wins, but it becomes a possibility and it's not out of his reach then. Spence rematch and a Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. All of these fights then become realistic for Kell Brook, because all of these guys will want to fight Kell Brook as well, right? Terence Crawford, by beating Terence Crawford, you take your name to the next level, because let's not forget, Terence Crawford is rated the man in boxing right now. He's rated #1 pound for pound, so that would be an incredible win for Brook, and a fight with Manny Pacquiao would be epic for Kell Brook. That would Kell Brook would have, like I said, a great swan song to the end of his career. To have a great end to his career. His career has not gone too well. This is what I'm saying. Kell Brook by beating, he was never going to beat Golovkin. But the fight after that with Spence, if Kell Brook had beaten that, his name would have gone to another level. He would have got the big fights that he wanted. He would have got everything he wanted. But because of that loss, he kind of came back down in the pecking order. He's now back at the same place where he was when he fought Errol Spence. If he wins, he takes his career to another level. If he loses, he's back to where he was. And a lot of people are saying, well, if he puts up a good performance, no, he's got to win. If he puts up a good performance and loses, yeah, he might be able to get a Liam Smith fight, But really, if we're honest, he needs to win. He needs to win if he wants to get the Pacquiao fight, or he wants to, even get. Because I don't believe if he loses, I don't believe he'll get any of the PBC guys to fight him. Would he even get an Amir Khan fight? I don't know, because I believe Khan will go fight someone else. I think if he wins, even that fight becomes realistic. And I believe Kell Brook would still want that fight just because he knows it's a huge payday. And he'd definitely still want to fight Amir Khan. So that again would be another fight that Kell Brook would be interested. I think even if Kell Brook puts in a great performance against Crawford, the fight with Amir Khan makes a lot of sense. Depending on how serious Amir Khan is and whereabouts he is with his career, we don't know, because he's not the last couple of years he's not been that active really. So again, it depends where he's at. But I think the Pacquiao fight becomes very realistic. But I think it only comes down to whether Pacquiao would fight him. Would Pacquiao be interested? Just because Bob Arum is saying that the fight gets made, will it get made? Let's see, man. Let's see. But Brook, like I said, has got a monumental task. He's got to go beat Crawford first. So if he can do that, the door's open. See, if Kell Brook had beaten Golovkin, the doors would have opened, but he was never going to beat Golovkin. That was a crazy fight. If the Kell Brook had beaten Errol Spence, the doors would have been open for Kell Brook. Now Kell Brook's got another chance, right? By beating Crawford, that his name could go to another level. A lot of people think that, by him beating Porter, yeah, Porter was a good win, but Porter's not a killer like that. Porter's not for me, he's a good fighter, but I don't view Porter as something out of this world. He's a good quality fighter, but he's not in the same level as Errol Spence. He's not in the same level as Golovkin or Terence Crawford. His name's not out there like those guys, like these guys. Sean Porter's a good, tough guy, but he's not seen by anybody as a pound for pound guy ever. Sean Porter's never been a pound for pound guy ever in at any point in his career. So, whereas these guys are, Golovkin, Spence, Crawford, these guys are seen as that. So this is a different kettle of fish, and that's why Kell Brook against these top boys seems to have come up short. But again, can he do it tomorrow? And if he does, the doors, like I said previously, before he was fighting Spence, that if he wins, the doors open for Kell Brook. The doors completely come wide open for Kell Brook. And then he's in the mix for all the big fights. Any fight he wants, people will be calling him out. They'd be calling him out for a fight. So let's see how this all unfolds. Bob Arum saying that a Brook Manny Pacquiao fight is possible if Brook beats Crawford. Leave your thoughts, guys. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to share the video. And guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.